Howdy, howdy. This is Blue Otter. Today we are looking at Let Them Trade. This is a game I'd previously covered the demo of the channel. In Let Them Trade, you build a network of cities that produce and trade resources, upgrade your castle, and protect the cities from cheeky bandits. Tinker with the economy at your own pace and watch the charming wooden world grow into a lively and thriving kingdom. This game does release on July 24th, 2025, and I would like to thank Spaceflower for providing me with an early access key so that I could bring this to y'all. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and start. We're going to start with the campaign. Tutorial part 1, the basics. Learn the basics of Let Them Trade. Greetings to Let Them Trade. I am the king, your monarch and sovereign. This clever little fellow on my shoulder is my most trusted advisor, Mr. Nuts. Mr. Nuts, squeak, squeak, squeak. Well said, Mr. Nuts. Yes, I have big plans to grow the economy in my domain, but can't oversee everything personally. Feasts and balls are just so time intensive that I hardly find the time to do much else. That's why I'm looking for someone who is as hardworking as I am, and you look like just the right person. Let's learn how to play. On the top right of the screen, you will see the current main quests, side quests, and milestones. You will be rewarded handsomely for completing these tasks I set you. Side quests and milestones are optional, but main quests must be completed to finish the scenario, so do pay attention. Firstly, let's learn how to move the camera. For extra information, click the arrow button to view the quest description. Click the arrow. I don't see the arrow. Anyway. Typical WASD. All right, move the camera with the mouse. So pan forward with the right mouse button, pan backward with the right mouse. So you're basically like click and holding with the right mouse button. Rotate with the Q and E, and then also with the middle mouse button. Zoom in and out with the mouse wheel. Learn to reset the camera, hit R to reset, and P to reset the position. So that takes you back to the center. It's time for you to build your first city. Cities are founded by placing a city center. Select city center in the basics tab on the build menu and place it on the highlighted tile. So this is going to be a bit railroady here for the tutorial, but you're learning. So build a city center for potatoes. So let's do... Wait for construction to finish. No, we've already built that. Okay. Now that you have founded a city center, you can place production and residential buildings on neighboring tiles. Start by placing 2 potato farms on green fertile soil tiles and 2 peasant homes. You may hold down the shift key to place multiple buildings. So we have under peasants, we want 2 potato farms. Let's put them back here. And 2 peasants. Let's put 1 here and 1 here. You can see kind of how they are connected, with green being kind of really close in proximity, yellow being a little farther in proximity, because they do have to travel. So they live here, they work here. So they are being built. We can speed time up a little bit and a little bit more. Do 1, 2, and 3 handle speed. No, that goes to there. We'll have to find a shortcut for the speed thing. Did you see the little guys with carts transporting resources to the buildings sites just then? Those are the city transporters. All resources must be transported from where they're produced to where they're consumed, and the transporters are responsible for doing so inside the city. When you are about to place a building, you will see arrows which indicate the distance which will need to be traveled by transporters. A city only has a limited number of transporters, which means that the bigger the city gets, the farther the transporters will need to travel, and the more difficult it will be for them to keep up. You may have noticed that there are some gray unexplored tiles in the northeast of the castle. In the top left, you can see the UI where your knights are listed. Click on the scout icon to select the scouting flag, then click on the next unexplored tile to have them automatically revealed. So we can see right over here. We click on our scouts. Nope, that's ordering the knights to the keep. Set the knights to scout mode. Okay, and then we're just going to do that. So we click on the little map icon and we click where they want to. Now, if I remember from the demo, once you set them to scout, they will keep scouting nearby ones. So I don't think it's necessarily like you have to keep clicking, but we'll see. Great, you have found a forest tile. Let's found a new city next to this forest tile. So are they continuing to explore? Yes, so they are continuing to explore. And I believe if there are any other tiles, they will just continue on. We're gonna go to basics. City, they did say anywhere. They said next to the forest tile, so I'm gonna build it right here. So we have some water access. Most resource buildings need to be placed on a specific type of tile to work. The lumberjack must be placed on a forest tile and then produce wood. Like all production buildings, the lumberjack require inhabitants to work there, in this case peasants. So don't forget to build a peasant home in your new city. So we're going to build a wood, and then we'll also build right there. So yeah, our main quest, we need to build a new city for wood and lumberjack. Now these cities, so this is Mistvale and this is Rainford. But I believe you can rename the towns. And you also have links to them up here where we can instantly click to where they are. And tells you like what their budget is too. So you can you have access right up here. All right, there's the peasant home is built. Now we're waiting for the lumberjack. Inhabitants have needs and wants, and this is reflected in the resources they consume. If the inhabitants' needs are met, they will remain in the city. But if not, then they will become unhappy and move out. It may then take a while for new inhabitant to move in again, meaning the city will have a smaller workforce available in the meantime. The resources are broken up into two groups, basic and luxury. Basic resources are the more important, and if these are missing, then inhabitants will be very unhappy. If both basic resources are provided, then inhabitants will no longer move out and will fill all slots of the residential buildings, meaning the city has a full workforce available. Luxury resources provide extra happiness, but are not enough if the basics are missing. Besides making sure that inhabitants don't move out, happiness is also important because inhabitants provide money to the city depending on their happiness. The happier the population, the more money a city will have to trade and purchase goods. So happiness is currency. Got it. And it looks like they are sitting out some wood, possibly to trade over here with Rainford. Now that you have two cities, they will begin to trade with one another. However, traders will not move very quickly over normal tiles. You can speed them up and make the economy more efficient by connecting the castle and all the cities with roads. So I saw that we have, that's the bridge road. So we're gonna there we go. And then do we need to hold on? We might need to connect to the city center there. At least to the city center. And then we might want to get the castle. Each city has its own budget, which it will spend on buying resources from other cities. It will also sell resources which it overproduces. Therefore, the prices of resources in the economy are determined by supply and demand. Managing the production and flow of resources in the economy, and therefore indirectly managing the prices, is vital for success. This is because on every trade, you levy a trade tax of 25% on both cities. This is your primary source of income. Try to build an economy where cities are specialized and must import many resources from one another, but beware of monopolies as they may drive up prices and make the economy inefficient. You can see the market price of a resource in the global resource overview in the top left of the screen. If you click on a resource in the global resource overview, then you will switch to a focus mode. Here, lots of additional information will be available, including global production and consumption for that resource, as well as displaying which cities are trading and with whom. So like here, if I click on in our little economy, our first, we'll check that in a second. In our little economy here, the first city will produce potatoes and buy wood, and the second city will produce wood and buy potatoes. Let's watch this in action. So like here we do wood, we can see they're purchasing wood there, and then here is where they are sending wood, and looks like they're deficient wood by 2. And we have potatoes plus 11 plus 15, and that's going over. Okay, and then we click on it to go back. I want to just add some roads there. Make sure that there is a quick resource to our castle keep. Can we rename our castle? We cannot rename our castle. So yeah, they're going through, and it looks like they're going to try to go through like whatever the fastest means is possible. So our main quest here is we are transporting 20 potatoes and 20 wood, which we've already succeeded on the wood. So we just need 10 potatoes, and it looks like this one is going to do so. Okay, this one might. Then I've seen potatoes go in, but they haven't come back out. Might be waiting on people to buy them. Let's look and see. It takes about 8 minutes. Maybe if, well, I was like, maybe if I build another potato farm, but I don't really want to do more than what the tutorial is saying right now. There we are. As I mentioned before, transporters move resources inside a city, whilst traders move resources between cities. A city only has a limited amount of either of those, meaning they can get overloaded if a lot must be moved at once. Cities can be upgraded, increasing the number of traders and transporters they have at their disposal. City upgrades can be applied at any time, provided you have the required coins and resources. Let's try this now. Select one of these cities, and then in the main tab, click on the up icon, the up arrow icon in the top left. So if we go to Rainford, right here, upgrade the village. So they're going to need wood and planks. Which they have. Very good work. You have finished the first part of the tutorial. In part 2, you will learn about researching more advanced buildings as well as upgrades and modifications. I'll see you then. All right, so that completes the first map. Let's go on to the second map. Greetings, my dear subject. After a good showing last time, I've decided that you have promise and to teach you another thing or two. Today we will learn about research and upgrades and modifications. Before we start, however, we need to solve a little problem. I have been siphoning off a few coins from the infrastructure budget here and there to pay for my birthday party preparations. In times of austerity, a strong leader must make tough decisions and set priorities, you understand. Sadly, this has led to some minor unintended consequences, such as the complete and utter dilapidation of the kingdom's bridges. Okay, so basically we don't have a bridge here, but that's okay because we can come down here, and I think I saw the bridge. You see those roads over leading to the shore? The bridge connecting them collapsed, and now the two towns here can't trade. Let's connect them again before we get started. Select the bridge in the basics tab in the build menu and select two tiles you want to connect to place the bridge. So here we're going to go down here to bridge, and we're just going to select the bridge. Very good. Now the cities will trade again. Whilst wood and potatoes are nice, we also want to produce other resources. For example, planks are a resource made from wood at the sawmill and are required to build most buildings. However, before you can build a sawmill, you must first research it in the research tree. Research is done in your castle. Normally, you must build the research center yourself, but I will construct it for you today to help speed up the process. So there's our little research tab. On the research tree on the top left corner of the screen, open the research tree, which is right here, I believe, in the top left corner of the screen, and click on the sawmill to begin researching. Your castle will send traders to purchase the required resources and transport them back, where they will be converted into research points. Don't forget to also pay pay market prices. If a resource is expensive, it will cost you. I believe it's that one, yeah. Fun fact, I am actually like dyslexic with left and right, so I have to always double check left and right. All right, sawmill. We're going to research sawmill. So it is just a click and it's done. But from there, we would be able to access being able to research a tavern, a quarry, a fishery, and a sheep farm. Now, I believe this is what was available in the demo. And just take a little bit of a look. This is, we have workers, citizen, and aristocrats. So we're going to be primarily focused down here, I believe, to start. We are researching it. So they've got to get materials over here so they can trade. So let's go ahead and speed this up. And you see we're developing our research points. There we go. Sawmill unlocked. Great, now the sawmill has appeared in the build menu. Place it down in one of your cities. So honestly, if I were to think about this, I would have, oh, peasants. Okay, so my guessing is that if you have something, so say here, this is under peasants. So this is peasants. This is where it's going to be. And there is this sawmill. Because we have the wood right here. Now, if I did this, they would have to trade the wood all the way down here. And then you get down here, you get the planks. And then it goes everywhere. So if I do this here, that means that they already have access to the wood directly. And they can basically upgrade and have manufacturing in this city of Greenspur. Besides researching new buildings, it's also possible to research new upgrades. Once unlocked, these will allow you to select a production or residential building and upgrade it to a new level, improving its functionality and providing other benefits depending on the building and level. Let's try it out with one of the lumberjacks. In the research tree, select level 2 icon above the lumberjack to begin the research. Okay, so let's go back up to the research and we're going to look at level 2 right there. And so it is researching level 2. Okay, so I think if you click it again, it deselects it. So this is the first level and this is 2, 3, 4, and 5. And of course, they're going to be bringing in that into the research center. It's got a little telescope. And they're reading their books. That is adorable. Yeah, it does have that tabletop feel, which is just, it kind of gives the feeling that you're watching and you're guiding, but you're not directly saying like go here to here. Upgrade a lumberjack to level 2 will increase the output by a good amount. To apply the upgrade, select the lumberjack and click on the upgrade icon in the top left of the building UI. So we're going to come back over here. We'll click on one of these and we can do upgrade. Now it just wanted me to do one. Otherwise I would do both. I would probably do both because I am crazy and I like to like overexpend my requirements on this. In addition to allowing you to level up your buildings, researching upgrades will also unlock modifications. Modifications are different to upgrades in that they can be turned on and off at any time at no additional cost. Modifications are unique to every building and come in different types. Some provide bonuses depending on neighboring tiles, some change the building's inputs and outputs, and others change how many and what types of inhabitants may work or live there. Both production and residential buildings have modifications, but for now, let's test out the Forester modification for the lumberjack, which was unlocked when you research lumberjack level 2. Select a lumberjack and click on the Forester modification to activate it. So we're going to click on this, and then we have lumberjack guild plus 15% output for every other building of the same type, and Forester plus 1 peasant slot plus 50% output. So we're going to select the Forester. Very good. Last but not least for today, let's look at buying resources at your castle. As you may have noticed, if set to auto buy, your castle will send out traders to automatically purchase resources for their research center and other castle buildings. In the resources tab of the castle UI, you can set the target storage amount for each of the resources currently in the economy. When you toggle on auto buy, and depending on the amount you set, The castle will automatically buy or sell the selected resources. This may take a little while as the castle will negotiate a fair price with the cities, which takes time. If you want to speed this process up, you can use the direct buy functionality. You can access direct buy in the resource tab of the castle UI. When selected, a list of cities and their offers will be displayed for a particular resource, allowing you to instantly purchase or sell at the listed price for that city. Whilst this method is fast and convenient, the price will not be as good as when allowing the castle to haggle a price for you. Now use the direct buy to purchase wood for your castle storage. So if we come up here, resources, we want 60 in wood storage. So if we set this, hold on, buy or sell the resource automatically to the target amount. 60. And then, hold on, no, that's, I just want wood. So this is 60 here. And then there's where we can just do a direct buy. Do we need to... That's getting an additional 10 wool. That should be enough. Congratulations, you have finished the second part of the tutorial. I think you have the perfect little task for you, something small to get you started. Meet me on the next map when you're ready to get started on your first proper job. All right, so let's go to the next map. My dear and loyal subject, welcome to the CreativeCache on the outskirts of our kingdom. I know this may come as a surprise, but despite my impeccably wise and selfless leadership, the kingdom does have an occasional problem with bandits. While CreativeCache may look like a lovely and serene island, it's been preyed on by the bandits Big Bad Bob for years. I can accept a little bit of stolen food here and there, but Bob recently did the unacceptable and started robbing my sweet, sweet trade. Today, we're going to learn how to train Retinue. Oh, equip the knight and finally kick Big Bad Bob's butt. First, let's research the light barracks building in the research tree. When it's completed, you'll find it in the castle tab of the building menu. Place it down next to the castle. So we need to research the light barracks. And then we'll need to build the barracks. So we've got Fernwell and Shadowmere. Got some fishing there, fishing there. It was really pretty protected in the mountains. All right, let's speed up so we can get to our research tree. All right, light barracks. It's in the castle. And light barracks. We'll put it right here so it's relatively closer to the street, maybe, or to the main thoroughfare. And they need to build. Let's speed things up a little bit. There we go. Now that you have a barracks, you can train some retinue. Retinue are produced in the castle and can be equipped to the knight when he is back home. The retinue will help him out in battle, increasing his combat strength and helping him defeat bigger and badder bandits. At the light barracks, you can train the light retinue. They're newbies and may not be the strongest, but they'll still pad out the numbers. If you ever want more detailed information about any of the systems and let them trade, you can open Mr. Nutt's wiki by clicking the question mark icon in the top right corner of the screen. Okay, we're gonna slow it down. So here's the wiki on this. We have knights. That's for scouting. Bandits. Amount of active bandits is limited by the bandit pressure. Okay. If you want to screenshot this, you can look at that and read that later. Let's come over here. And what am I doing? We have target stock of produced at the castle. Maybe it's here? Still the castle keep tiles scouted. Okay, I guess it produces that. Great. Looks like the light retinue. I have never heard this word before. Retinue definition: a group of advisors, assistants, or others accompanying an important person. From the Anglo-French verb retenir, meaning to retain or keep in one's pay or service. Okay, learn something new. By selecting them and adding light retinue to the knight's UI at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so we've got 3 light retinue, lightly armored fighters who add +1 to their attack rolls. So it sounds like it kind of makes like a okay, there's where the knight is. We come here. Light retinue, so we can apply 3. There we go. Okay, look, it's Big Bad Bob, and he's making for the trade route. Select guard mode on the knight UI and set the flag nearby to send him to go teach Bob a lesson quickly now before he makes off with my money. So we need to, hold on. Guard mode. That's scout mode. This is guard mode. Okay. So Thoric is going to come right here. Are they going to meet on the map? They're dancing. And there's a little fight. It'd be nicer if this was on like a plane or something so we could actually see, but I'm sure there will be opportunities to see that. Oh, looks like we sent him back to his little bandit camp. Okay, so we've got that. He's going to come back. Okay, so this is the little bandit camp. Oh, they're having a little... And then here's Sir Thoric. And they're having their little fight. You can actually see this better. So the knights looks like they have swords. And we have defeated them. That's what you get for disturbing my lovely trade. Very good work. We sure showed him. Yes, it seems you really are handy to have around. I guess I'll have to find a job for you. Report back when you're ready and I'll see you on the next map. Toodaloo. So I like that this is one you can keep playing, or what we could do is finish. And I would really like to get onto my own map eventually, or faster, so we can finish the tutorial hopefully. So this is branching out. The kingdom is lacking wood production, and while the forests are a source of lumber, they are also sparsely populated. Build up the population and expand wood production. So it looks like that first island was the tutorial. And now we are starting into the main campaign where we're going to be filling out this much larger island. So I think this is probably a good spot to kind of hold, and we'll be back with branching out in the next episode. So thank you for watching. Have an utterly fantastic day and see you next time.